Thank you so much. For those of you that have just arrived, my name is Armando Vazquez-Ramos. I'm one of the conveners of this summit. Welcome for being here. I will just say a few words of introduction for our colleagues that really have established the precedent that we're trying to propose as the model, the flip side of what El Rancho has done, which is essentially for us to create college credit courses that are contracted by any school district or any high school, as they were able to do this past summer. I was really interested when they approached our campus to establish a Chicano Studies class in Carson, at Carson High School, and that it was coming from the Carson Boys and Girls Club. I said, now, what the hell is going on here? The Boys and Girls Club, actually the Boys Club that I remember, was shooting caroms, and that's where I learned how to swim. And I think they're going to share with you what they are all about now, what their role is at Carson High School. And I just simply wanted to say that it's because of them that we are here today. They have opened the door to a model that literally any college or university can contract out courses through extension. And this is what we have already arranged for El Rancho Unified, beginning next semester. And the cost is approximately $7,500 per course. It's a drop in the bucket. When you consider that you could have as many as 30 or 40 high school students taking a class without having to pay a penny for tuition, and that they will finish with 3 units of college credit in their transcript. Now, how that translates in terms of today's tuition fees in the Cal State system, which is roughly $500 per unit, $1,500 per course. Now multiply that, say, by 10 students. That's $15,000, right? By 20 is 30,000. By 30 students, that's $45,000 of tuition fees that otherwise are saved, because the college can contract with the high school, in this case, for roughly $7,500, which is what Carson Boys and Girls Club pay to have this one class established at Carson High School, which I had the honor to teach, and why we have come together today to promote the idea that we don't need legislation to mandate it. If we follow the lead of El Rancho, and El Rancho superintendent, as any other superintendent, follows the directions of its board, then they prioritize the money to contract one or as many classes as they want to have with college credit. So I want to introduce Veronica Jimenez, who is the Director of Operations for the Carson area Boys and Girls Club, and then Michelle Gomez, who is the Director of the College Bound program at Carson High School, to tell you fundamentally, this is what I asked them to do, is how did you come about this idea? How did you do it? And what has been your experience? I know that did you have some of the students come today? Yeah. So where's my students at? Raise your hand. Hey, come on, are you shy? Where are they at? Oh, there they are, back there. Good to see you. Hang on a second. We will have a chance to have you identify yourselves. Maybe come up after they have a chance to do their presentation. Please, thank you for being here, and take it from here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us here, and it's really a pleasure to work with Professor Armando. We are, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Carson. We have 10 sites in the Watts Willowbrook area and also in Carson. And the way, we offer programming after school for children 6 to 18 years old, but we are also, through Prop 49 and 21st Century, we also have programs at schools. So we are at Carson High School, at Locke High School, and at King Drew Magnet High School. And so through that, we offer programs in academic success, character and citizenship, and healthy lifestyles. So 5 years ago when I came to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Carson, there was a model, a college-bound model that another Boys and Girls Clubs of Valley Harbor had started, and they had great success rate with their students that were graduating high school, and they were offering case management for the students after school, and college workshops and college field trips. So that's a model that in our board we wanted to do, because we believe that every child deserves the right to succeed in life, and through that comes education. So we kind of jumped on board, and we didn't know how we were going to fund it, but we said, you know what? We think the kids in Carson and the kids in Watts Willowbrook deserve every single right that everybody else has. And so we entered into this journey, and 5 years later, we have great success. We have now started our college programming from 5th to 12th grade. So we start with our 5th grade members, and they receive workshops, and they're also going to college tours. But the one difference that we made, and I think probably 2 years, maybe a year and a half ago, was when we were extremely successful, and that's because we brought on Michelle, who has really taken the program to a different level. But through College Bound, we also have the college courses, and this is something we had talked about, like what's the next step of our College Bound program, and we didn't quite have the funds to really do something, but we are funded in our high schools through 21st Century, and if anyone knows about that, it's federal funding. So we had some surplus funding, and we said, okay, how are we going to use that, and what can we do to ensure that our vision and mission is carried forward? And we said, you know what, why not do college courses? So we called Cal State Long Beach. Someone passed the extension number to us, and we were connected, and Michelle really did the groundwork to partner us with that, and it was really successful. We did it in the summer, so I'll let her talk a little bit more about how that looked for us.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you again for having us. Working with Professor Armando, it kind of happened over looking through courses that we could offer to our youth. There was quite an array of courses here at Cal State Long Beach that we could have picked from, but we really thought, what kind of courses will our youth be able to engage in and actually take something home with them? We looked through the ethnic studies curriculum, and we were like, we would really enjoy having an ethnic studies course. What that looks like, we're not really sure. But that's when Professor Armando jumped on board and was able to provide us a Chicano studies course and kind of laid the groundwork for our youth to really start engaging in the materials. After the course began, we started noting quite a difference in our youth. They started letting us know that they could communicate better with their families. They could communicate better at home. They could distinguish between stories on the media and articles they were reading online. And if you talk to them today, they'll tell you the same thing. So we were really fortunate that the course impacted them in the way we thought that it would change them, that it would profoundly speak to them in ways that they could take back home, and whether it was teach their families or teach their communities, that they had this information that they could kind of go off on. So just to kind of speak on the College Bound program and what the work we do there, it's exactly what Veronica said, but more so we really work on kind of engaging the youth to think about the future, to think about what they're gonna do after high school, whether it's a career, whether it's college, but more so how will they be engaged citizens in their communities? How will they go back and provide something to the communities that they come from or the communities that are in need? So again, we were really fortunate to have our youth be a part of this program, and the work that we did with Cal State Long Beach really, it was a really overall amazing experience.
Thank you, Michelle and Veronica. I may point out that they're both Cal State Long Beach graduates, and it's so wonderful to come across like the El Rancho High School graduates that are here and that they have connected with us. We have Jorge Melgoza. Please raise your hand. Jorge Melgoza, who is the vice principal at Berkeley High School, and who has been teaching Chicano Latino studies for 10 years, but is not exactly the same way as we are structuring this relationship. But he's going back to create a whole department, and also to connect with the college credit courses to follow this model that we just presented. Let me also just comment that what's really important in today's work, and that will come after our next panel, is the collaboration and the advocacy of community-based organizations, of groups that can advocate for school boards to adopt the resolutions as LA Unified will next month. I have no question that that will happen, but also based on the leadership of El Rancho's model, because this can happen anywhere USA, not only in this state. There is an article that will be coming out probably today in an international newspaper. It's actually an agency called EFE. They interviewed me and Gonzalo yesterday, and the whole question was, can this be done elsewhere? Of course. It's local control. I'm not going to repeat everything that Aurora has already established. Is the idea of exercising the authority that school boards already have. And so that's the task that we have before us today. In the workshops this afternoon, that we want to come up with a plan how we can energize community organizations. And after the next panel, which has to do with the struggle, the battle, and the resurgence of Mexican-American studies in Arizona. Because we have three colleagues that have come all the way from Arizona to talk about the difficulty that they have faced there versus the fact that in California, we're celebrating 45 years of ethnic studies in many colleges and universities, but damn it, we still don't have ethnic studies in K through 12. What's wrong with that picture? There is no ethnic studies to ban in California. So it's ironic, but now the challenge is for us to do it following the community-based model. We don't need legislation to mandate it and for a study to be done and for a commission to be formed. I will tell Assemblyman Luis Alejo, that is old wine. We don't need to reintroduce it in a new bottle. What we need is legislation that comes out of today's summit and other ideas to fund teacher training. So we have an ethnic studies teaching credential so we can assist the school districts to develop their curriculum, to train their teachers. And ultimately because we need funding for this to come about. And that's what we need. If they were shy about committing $300,000 this year for a study and a commission, we're not going there. We want millions to expand ethnic studies across the state. So let me just conclude with that and thank our colleagues that are here. I'm so proud of the graduates of Cal State Long Beach, and they're going to already plan on doing another class next summer. And I may teach that class or maybe not, because I'm already looking at other alternatives. We have Elias Serna here in the house who's going to be teaching at Cal State LA full time, and many other young faculty that really should be the ones that teach these classes beginning next spring, next summer, next fall, okay? So please pass the word, and we're going to continue with the next panel. How about a round of applause here for Veronica and Michelle for their leadership? Thank you so much.